You can easily repair kitchen cabinets that have been damaged by water. To begin the process, you will need to remove the cabinet doors from the hinges. Then, move the cabinet into a garage or shed. Cover the floor with a drop cloth so as not to damage it. If the water damage is extensive, you may have to remove the door hardware. This will make the repair process easier. You must first remove all items from the affected cabinet. The damage will only worsen with time, so you must remove all items immediately. Next, you must determine the cause of the water. Is the leak the result of a burst pipe? Was the plywood warped? Was there high humidity in the area? If so, it's best to shut off the main water supply until the damage is resolved. Once you've identified the source of the water, it's time to repair the cabinets. If the damage is severe, you should contact a professional. This will allow you to better communicate the damage to them. You must also remove all items from the damaged cabinet. This will prevent the water from getting inside. After you've removed everything from the cabinet, you should inspect it to see whether the damage is due to leaky water or high humidity. If the leak is small and shallow, you should be able to stop it by shutting off the main water supply. In addition to repairing the damaged cabinets, you must also make sure that the source of the water damage is removed from the area. Depending on the type of water, you may need to remove some items from the cabinet before you begin the repair process. In addition to drying out the cabinet, you must remove any damaged pieces to find out where the water is coming from. This way, you can fix your kitchen cabinets and get back to normal in no time. Once the cabinets have been removed from the cabinet, you can check their damage and identify the source of moisture. There might be signs of warping or delamination. You will need to sand down the damaged parts before moving on to the next step. You can also use an ozone machine to remove odors from the cabinet. If the cabinets are completely destroyed, you can call a professional to inspect them. If you cannot afford to hire a professional, you may want to consider replacing them. Before starting the repair process, you should ensure that the cabinets are dry. If the cabinets have water damage on the bottom shelf, check the wooden frame for any contact points. A leaky faucet can also cause water damage on the lower shelves and drawers. If you have the time, you should take care of these issues before you start the repairs. Otherwise, you will only be repairing damaged cabinets. It's best to call a restoration company to handle the task. After the water damage is completely dried, you should inspect the wood frames and the bottom shelf to check for waterlogged conditions. If the wooden frame is affected, look for a leak in the frame and replace it with a new one. These are some of the initial steps in the repair process. Before you start repairing the cabinets, make sure they are completely dry. If possible, you should wait at least a week after the water damage has been repaired. Once the water damage has been completely removed, you can start the repair process. To assess the damage, you should remove all items in the cabinet. If you need to restore the cabinets that are damaged on the inside, you will need to replace the cabinet's interior and exterior panels. Then, you should paint the cabinets. However, if you don't have any experience with such projects, you can ask for help from friends and family. If the damage is large, you can choose a filler for the kitchen cabinets. Depending on the type of wood, you can also use plastic wood filler. The filler can cover up the water damage on the inside of the cabinet. You should be very careful in applying the filler so that it covers the whole area. If the damage is on the outside of the cabinet, you will need to replace it in order to prevent any further water damage.